this session is technology in times of post-COVID. Is that a misnomer? Are we in times of post-COVID, or are you, like we are at The Economist, a little wary about the possibility of another wave on the way?
It's like quantum physics. We both are and aren't.
Right.
We have a double state. And in a sense, there are certain elements which I guess we have surpassed vis-a-vis the COVID period and the nucleus of the COVID period, and there are certain elements that remain. And I think that this is something that more or less we expected. If you read literature about any pandemic in the history of the world, not only on the digital sphere, but overall vis-a-vis what happened in any pandemic, there's a phenomenal book called Epidemics and Society, which captures that, by Frank Snowden, I think. You can see that after any pandemic, after 2 or 3 years, effectively, certain things as social norms remained, or as policies. And Yuval Harari wrote a very interesting essay on the FT. I think it was, actually it was the weekend of the first lockdown, March 2020. And the title of the essay was After the Pandemic, even though the pandemic was just beginning. And the whole idea was that the pandemic would be over after a couple of years, effectively. But what would remain would be your policy choices, and especially on the digital front. So be very careful with regards to what choices you will be making. And careful, I think we were. We decided as a government to follow an acute strategy of empowerment. We had already designed a strategy, our Prime Minister and his team in Greece, to empower citizens by digitizing public services, simplify public services, offer gov.gr as the key premise of our digital policy, and we decided to continue upon that policy by rendering it also a policy to battle the virus, because as we were eliminating interactions, we were effectively limiting the reasons to meet other people physically. And the numbers show that this was successful. We started from 8.8 million digital transactions in 2018, and we had 567 million digital transactions in 2021. This is more or less, I would say, 63 physical visits per adult Greek avoided because of this policy. So I guess it's a success.